Hello. Okay, so this is going to be the third video of your onboarding tutorials. And so in the first tutorial, so what we covered, let me find my mouse again. We looked at how you can create a top level company OKRs, how to set your goals, update the targets. In the second video, we looked at how you can create sub-level OKRs and a bit more advanced stuff around setting goals, such as using the weights or the different types of metrics that you can have. Now, I want to look at, I want to discuss the goal setting experience itself. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this particular plan, which is the sample plan that should have shipped as well, which was created when you created the workspace. So I'm going to skip this one. And so let me talk a little bit about that view, which should be familiar to you, but the difference is that now we have a lot of data here. So at the top, you're going to see a set of metrics to help you get a sense of what's going on. So first of all, how many days left to achieve this plan, progress on the key results, progress on the tasks. So here it's like outcomes, outputs, and that net confidence score that I mentioned in previous videos. So the net confidence score is calculated by looking at these squares here and the colors. And it looks at the percentage of things that are green minus the percentage of things that are red. And so that's a number that you get. So to track progress on your OKRs, so this is what you do. So you open up, you click on any of the goals that you have, any of the key results or outcome. And you're going to have a chart that looks like this as you start tracking things week after week after week with your team. So tracking, adding a check-in is really easy. You just click on create check-in, you're going to see the chart. We're already on that date, right? So if I do 32, you're going to see that, this is moving around. And the analysis is where you can explain to people what is happening. I just want to pause on that, right? Because what's important, so if you just put a metric, but you don't explain to people what's happening, it's going to be hard to get help, because people will see the metric. They don't know how you got to where you are. They don't know what kind of ideas you have for the future, or if you need help. So this is where we have those suggestions here. 3 questions that you should answer as part of that. So how did you make progress? Would you do things differently moving forward? And are there any questions for people that are part of the team? So in this case, I could do something like this, which would be, we're doing great. I need to check with, Wilfried, like what's happening. So you can use mentions, etc., to mention people. Okay, so I'm not going to do the check-in because we've seen that before, but the one thing I want to mention here is like you see these checkbox here. Basically, whenever you mark something as completed, for instance here, it's going to be added to the chart. And this is because we want you to be able to easily understand, correlate, the work that has been done with the impact that it has on your metrics. Another thing, okay, so let's finish on that. So this is a tracking. So one thing that you will be able to do, as you set goals, so if you have like a goal that looks like this, so this one, it's another example of why these trends are important. This is a goal where the team started pretty, had a hot start, right? We're above that line. And then things started to slow down. So for me, that's an important part that's the value of tracking things and having a graph, like why you want to track things on a weekly basis. Because if you did just a monthly tracking, it would be much harder for you to get that type of picture. And as I said before, it doesn't take a lot of effort to do your check-ins. It's like this is probably the view that you had if you had a spreadsheet, and getting into the details of seeing that progress chart, this is what is going to help you get the right sense of urgency. Now, there's a thing that I want to show you here, which is starting to get into some of the AI stuff that we have. You can go to that coaching section. And from that coaching section, if you want some inspiration around like what you can do with your team to try to correct your course, you can hit generate. And so what Tability is going to do, it's going to look at your goal and going to look at the progress that you've made, and then give you an analysis of your situation, as well as give you a set of possible improvements or ideas of things that you can do, right? So this is its interpretation of what's going on. So there was growth, but things growth was not sustained. And so very interesting bit here is like the suggestions. So you can go see that it goes from things like running targeted campaign, to collaborating with communities, doing some A/B testing, etc. So you can take some of these ideas, right? So I could do this and then start adding that as something that I want to do with my team. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you want to track goals in Tability. Now I want to talk about sharing progress with the rest of the team, right? So this would be the view in which you spend time with your team. If you have external stakeholders that want to be informed of your progress, so first of all, these people can click on this to watch your plan. We're not displaying the list of watcher yet, but that's something that we should do soon. But the other thing that you can do is that you can click on present, and that is going to turn your plan into something like a keynote. And this is a view that is really optimized for reading. It strips out all the unnecessary from the platform for someone that just wants to know how things are going on. And so you can see here, I can read my updates, reach an NPS of 60, etc. I can click, so if I have an account, I can click here and open up, the detail panel of any of the key results that we have. That's the same thing that we saw before. Or I can click on the left-hand side and have like a dedicated view for each one of the goals. And in this view, I'll have like some basic metrics around basic progress metrics. I can see the chart and I can see the latest discussion as well as the tasks that are planned. This is something that you can share and protect by password. So if you enable public sharing, so people that don't have an account, they'll be able to have like something that look like exactly the same, minus some of the actions, right? You won't be able to create a check-in or you won't be able to reply to things, but you will be able to read what happened. We also have a dashboard view, which is meant to be displayed on a big TV if you're sitting with a team in the office. And this is something that you can put next to the engineering metrics that are usually visible around the product teams. Okay, so what we saw just now, so we talked about what it looks like once you start tracking progress of a team after a few weeks. We looked at that coaching module that we have that you can generate. It's specific for every goal, and the advice is really contextual, right? Because it depends on how much progress you've done. It depends on the type of goal that you're going for, and we'll look at the presentation mode. In the next video, so I'm going to keep this one short. I'm sorry, I was just thinking about whether or not I should go into the filters and the reporting. I'm going to keep this one short. I'm going to make a second video in which I will cover this part of Tability, which is like how you can slice and dice the data as you see fit and create your own reports, like save it as a segment that you can come back to. Okay, so this is the end of this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye.